Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of The Expendable Show. And for those of you tuning in for the first time, I'm your host, The Expendable. So before, I always forget to do this because I think I always like the news is way more important than all this other stuff. But for those of you who don't mind my show, hit the like and subscribe and ding the bell. That way you get notifications every time I make a video or a short or something out of the ordinary, which I do from time to time. I actually do have a lot of shorts. So those of you who like being entertained for 15 seconds at a time, I have a lot of shorts. So check them out. So today on the show, this is going to be mainly an election information type of show because we're getting close. And for one, I just went to the Gwinnett County, Georgia, which, Gwinnett's one of the most populous counties in the state of Georgia. It is a big target county for both parties, which I don't live in that county, but I used to, and I enjoy the people in Gwinnett County, so I continue to support them. But I went to a polling training session with the Gwinnett field director, which her name was Tiffany Savage. And let me tell you about Tiffany Savage. This woman knows all the tricks of the trade. I'm going to tell you that right now. If they can catch anything, Tiffany Savage will be catching it. She's very good. She is very passionate about the voting process. She even has her 14, 15-year-old daughter. I don't know how old she was, but this girl was trained as well. She knew her stuff. So it's nice to see. And she made up a good point that she lets her daughter do everything with her because she's trying to get her ready to be a next generation GOP leader, which is something that we should be doing, instilling our conservative values in our loved ones, so that way they can. Why is my cat just jumping on stuff? Hey, bruh. Every time I podcast, my cat wants to act up. I feel like I need a water bottle or something. Anyway. So also this was put on by the Gwinnett County GOP chair, which is Sammy Baker. I've gotten to know Sammy a little bit here and there throughout the years. I love him to death. He is a super good guy. And he loves Gwinnett County. This guy is all about Gwinnett County, is constantly, doing stuff in the community, leading campaigns. This guy is so good at what he does. And I've been very blessed to have gotten to know him. And he rubs elbows with everybody who's big, all the way up the ladder. So, but this training, it was the Trump Force 47. And it was put on by Alina Habba. For those of you who do not know who Alina Habba is, she is Donald Trump's senior advisor. She was also his attorney there for a while. So the bad part about it was Alina Habba had transportation problems. And so we all missed our opportunity to converse with her. She did send a recorded message. And that's okay. I was excited to meet her. But it's okay. So I got to learn a lot about how poll watchers watch and what they watch for, their process of how they report, what they're looking for, which I'm not going to get too much in depth, simply because, they wouldn't allow me to record anything in the training. So that tells me that there are things in there they did not want the public to know for strategic purposes. This is the election in Gwinnett County is going to be very cloak and dagger. We were made aware that, like in 2020, the focus was DeKalb County and Fulton County, which is where Crooked Fawny Willis is at. So they're expecting, the idea is that they think the GOP is going to be paying attention to those counties again, but the GOP has caught wind that the liberals are dumping a lot of campaign money into Gwinnett County. So Gwinnett County has ramped up their poll watching. They've ramped up the volunteers. They are, as I'm going to tell you, after going through the training, they are as ready as humanly possible. And the more things you do, campaign wise, you make calls, you go do all the the knocking on doors and stuff, which I'm not going to do because I feel like I would get shot. But all the things that you can do to help Trump, which my way to contribute is by podcasting and my books and my constant social media presence. I'm doing it all day, every day. So that's what I do. So I'm not going to go out there and put myself in danger. Some of them ladies they'd be 80 years old and they're like, we're going to get out there and knock on every door. Well, you go right ahead. But Eric's not doing it. So that's a big thing. And their plan is good. The GOP plan for the state of Georgia is rock solid. They have so many lawyers ready to go. So if anybody sees anything, phone calls start happening, lawyers start showing up, and they start questioning things and start documenting. So they changed the drop boxes. The drop boxes have to be emptied before the day of voting here in Georgia. So once voting started for that day on the 4th, November 4th, you can no longer use the drop boxes. They will be locked up. The drop boxes are also specific. They're going to be red, white, and blue, where the old ones were just kind of like a dingy tan, ugly looking color. So they've made them distinct, and there will be none outdoors. They will all be indoors. So that way most of them will be under video surveillance, but they will be under direct surveillance the entire time. So they're not going to be able to just show up and start dumping stuff in a drop box like what happened last time, allegedly. So, I was really happy. I feel good, at least on Georgia's side of things. So I didn't want to, critique too much. I didn't really find anything to critique. I thought I was constantly thinking of loopholes, like what are they missing? There's got to be something they're not seeing. But I feel like Tiffany Savage has done a fantastic job of looking at the voting process from beginning until end and really putting a lot of thought into it. And, along with the rest of the field directors and, the GOP head. So they're prepared. I went through the whole training so I could hypothetically be a poll watcher. Which is exciting. That put me in like the worst part of Gwinnett. I'm gonna catch somebody doing something. Then I'm gonna call 911. Get the lawyers down here. But it was fun. It was a fun training. Actually, the training was boring. I'm not gonna lie. But so I didn't. The training was extremely boring. I'm not even going to sit here and try to lie. Who wants to sit and listen to voting rules all day? I'm not going to hawk to Sarge. But I'm going to catch somebody doing something bad. So I wanted to just go over that real quick and just say that I did attend the poll watcher training. I do get an official Trump Force 47 patch that I can go pick up on Monday. That I'll probably give to my dad. So I want to go into a little news story that happened, and yeah, Tim Waltz. He just posted on Twitter, I'll see you on October 1st, JD. Whatever. What's he gonna? That dude's a turd. Go ahead. Debate the turds. Turds are debating now. But anyway, Axios put out a report that the Harris campaign has funded they've paid Google to give positive search results. So that's dirty. That's a dirty thing when you can jump in there. But I mean, can you really? It's dirty. I'm glad it got exposed so people will know. But is it any different than Trump and Elon Musk's pretty much takeover of Twitter the other day? So, which that leads me into that story. So for those of you who do not know, Trump and Musk had almost a billion views. It's the record by far on the planet. Which was it was funny because I watched it and I was like, well, this is like two buddies talking. And like it's weird because like Elon Musk was throwing some complicated things at him, and Trump was like, "Oh yeah, I know what that is." Blah blah blah. So I thought that they both had. It was like a very casual conversation, and it was nice to see that side of Trump. To see, what is he like when he's talking to a friend, and and he can just kind of kick his feet up and go, "Hey, what's up, man? How's the spaceships going? Is there really a firmament up there?" And with Elon Musk, talking to Trump, and he's like, "Hey, I support you. I'm going to vote for you," and which is nice. But at the same time, it's also nice that Elon does not, do a whole lot of censoring on Twitter. People say some reckless stuff on Twitter, and he'll let it go until it turns into something violent, and then they shut it down. But for the most part, you can pretty much support. Two spitwads on a window and nobody's gonna, censor you. Or you could say, Tim Waltz loves horses and nobody will censor you. But the bots will come out in full force and start hating on you. But that, they're just bots. Nobody cares about them. So I thought it was really good. It was a good publicity move for Trump to do that. Of course, the liberal media painted it as, oh, look at Trump's only talking to elites, only two elites really sitting down and having a conversation. Big whoop. Like, who cares? Like, Elon Musk and Donald Trump, like, for one, as I say in my book that's about to come out here pretty soon, that I have emails I need to answer about. Out of all the companies that I looked into in the making of my book, there are two people that run companies that are not owned dominantly by BlackRock, State Street, and Vanguard. And those two people are Donald Trump and Elon Musk. Imagine that. There's only two people out of all the hundreds of companies that I looked into that are not majority owned by the big three asset managers, and it's Elon Musk and Donald Trump. There's a reason why they don't allow those companies to have majority shareholders of their company, because they want to have all the creative decision making. They want to be able to push the companies in the direction that they want them to go into. They don't want to have a board full of BlackRock executives telling them what to do with their company that they started with their own selves. Hey, Shauna,
I was on the wrong link.
You're fired.
I'm like, why is he not on?
Shauna's fired. I'm gonna demote you to Sarge's to his podcast.
We'd probably have more fun on there anyways.
Yeah, you're probably right. Mine's boring today. We was just talking about when I went to my voting training yesterday in Lawrenceville, and it was really boring. But when you're a nerd like me, like, I learned a lot of stuff, so it was fun for me. Where most people are gonna be like, "Oh, that's super," like watching paint dry. Well, maybe I like watching paint dry.
Okay.
The Sarge said that you guys you can come over and you can play games with him. Probably like Jenga.
Oh, I like Chinga.
Yeah. But then I just was talking about Donald Trump and Elon Musk's billion view
Oh God.
interview. Which, Shauna, did you watch any of that? Have you seen any
I
clips
didn't.
or anything of it?
I
I
didn't.
did. It was entertaining. Like it was like two buddies talking on the phone, like casually. Like it was a side of Donald Trump that we're not used to seeing. And I think that a lot of people needed to see that.
Well, good.
You know, it was like Donald Trump is one of the boys, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So that it was nice. I liked it. And Elon Musk was trying to kind of challenge Donald Trump a little bit. He was throwing some like big concepts out there, and Trump was like on it. Like I was like, there's no way Trump's going to be able to answer that, and he did. So I was pretty entertained by that. And then I also reported about Kamala Harris. Her campaign is paying Google to have, when people do searches of her in her campaign, like all these positive things come up, and they skipped over all the, you know, Tim Waltz likes horses parts.
Oh my God, here we go.
Well, it got fact checked as true. So
Okay. Leave that man alone.
Tim Waltz likes horses.
Everybody's got to have a vice.
What is wrong with people? It's crazy because they paint him as the ultimate masculine guy for liberalism. He doesn't eat soy burgers. He eats real horse meat. So
I'll get canceled. So I don't know.
Yeah, see,
we live in a world. We live in a world where everything is considered okay. So
right, you just identify as a horse expert. Then you can say whatever you want about horses. See,
there you go.
See how that works? I'm a horse expert today. I was a toaster yesterday.
Oh my God.
I identified as a toaster.
Oh my God. You look like you've been in a toaster.
I've been doing manual labor at work. So there, eat that.
Must be nice.
What? I don't want to do manual labor.
Be nice. What else are we talking about?
Okay. So some polls came out today, and so I just want to go over them a little bit because polling's really screwy right now because everybody's playing the strategic poll lying game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you look at the left polls, Kamala Harris is like barely winning in every state, except Michigan. She's up by like 100 points.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you look at the more moderate polls, which this one's, I believe, is 568 or something like that. But I know it's a moderate poll. So I looked at the issues. I stopped watching like what the swing states are doing because we're still too far away from the election for me to really put a lot of like emphasis on that because things are going to happen. You're going to start seeing those, you know, Kamala could be winning one day, Trump could be winning the next day. It's going to be all over the place right now until we get to like the end of September, beginning of October. I'm not going to take those polls very seriously yet. Especially since both candidates are campaigning in those states right now. So we're trying to see how the states react to the campaigns. But I wanted to point out that in this poll, Kamala Harris has a 28% confidence rating on the economy. 28%. That was on The Fifth Element, Sarge. I love that movie actually. I think Shauna loves it too, don't you?
I do. I'm a huge fan.
I know. We talked about it that one day at work, I remember.
Yeah.
But anyway, she's 28% on the economy. So that's not good. And she's going to come out on Friday, allegedly, and she's going to put her economic plan out there. And what I'm hearing is that she's going to shy away from Bidenomics, which she should. If she wants a chance to win, she's got to scrap Bidenomics. But then on top of that, that's basically admitting, like, if you can crap on Joe Biden anymore on his way out the door, they're gonna do it. And I feel bad for Joe Biden because I don't think he was in the right state of mind. He can't even defend himself. And they're just kind of
Well, I
like,
think it's just kind of unfair that they're like, I mean, he knew that he wasn't supposed to be like a great president anyways, but I think it's also
right.
kind of unfair that you're just like throwing him under the bus when the plan was for him just to be there until they can get a better candidate anyways. Like, I don't feel like, why do you have to like why do we have to treat him nasty, even though that was the plan from the get-go? Was
Right.
like, okay, he really was only supposed to be kind of like a stand-in, and then that was going to be it. So
Yeah, but then they put all their eggs in the Biden basket. All of them did. Pelosi, Schumer, Fat Nadler, like all them guys. They put everything that right, Colin. Everybody should shy away from Bidenomics. It sucks. But the military guys are showing up today. But it's a disaster that Joe Biden was sitting there and they were propping him up, saying, "We're with you, Joe. Let's go, let's go, let's go." And then they abandoned him after his polls started to drop.
Very so much.
Yeah, and then now they're like, "Oh yeah, his plan sucked anyway. We didn't even like it."
I just think on another end, as a potential voter, it seems very like, they made such a big fuss about him and Kamala getting the presidency, like winning. So, that was a whole thing, like the "we did it, Joe" thing. And then
right, I remember that.
Here, and then now it's just kind of like y'all did a coup. So y'all pushed him out. But y'all didn't want Kamala either. But now you're hyping her up because you're like, we don't really have another strong candidate to put in front of the people. But the whole issue that I have with everything is that the Democratic Party has shown no loyalty to the people that they're also like representing. So as a potential voter, it's just like, if I see you doing this and you're not even sticking with your people that you're trying to bump up to us, like me as a voter, how am I supposed to trust anything that your party is saying? Like, even if she does like tear away from the Bidenomics, like, okay, cool, great. That's a good start for her to like, to start putting her stamp on her campaign. But also at the same time, like, I just feel like all of you guys across the board are very untrustworthy. So it's just like, how am I supposed to feel confident in my choice in voting for you?
You want to know
like,
how?
On any level.
I mean, you're absolutely right. I wouldn't trust it, especially like if they'll throw Joe Biden out to the pasture. Wait till Kamala like starts to slip in the polls. Then what? Like my dad, he's dead set that they may try to do another switcheroo at the DNC on Monday, because we don't really know what Kamala's real polls are, because nobody's reporting the real stuff. But do not Sarge say he's got to go to Chicago tomorrow. Ugh. Just keep your antennas on. Might be a rocky day. They're already playing. They're passing out pamphlets saying we're going to crash the DNC. So just be ready. Regency Hyatt, stay away from them. But you want to hear what how I think her economic policy is going to go Friday?
I have to finish cooking. So yeah, I'm listening. Go for it.
So the economy, it has money. And when you have money, you spend money. But then you have to make money. And then maybe we'll spend what we make of money, and then we'll invest the money. And the money will just make more when we need more money. That's how her speech is going to go on Friday. I already know. I should have put my wig on for that, so it'd be more realistic.
We got to get you a political wig. It's got to be something nice with a nice flip.
Yeah, and then I get like a pantsuit. But I'm not allowed to do blackface. You can't do blackface no more.
No, we cannot. Absolutely not.
Unless you're a Democrat. All the Democrats do blackface and it's okay. But you can't be a conservative and do blackface.
No.
So that's that's the basic gist of that. And I agree with Colin on that right there, that Harris is just going to do whatever Obama tells her, just like Sleepy Joe did. And that's right. That's what's going to happen. Everybody. Yeah, be careful at the airport, Sarge. I'm legitimately, the amount of information that I've seen about the DNC on Monday, it legitimately has me a little bit worried. So please do be careful. Watch your surroundings when you're in Chicago. Which I know you will. So Trump has a 58% approval on the border, where Kamala's at a 36%. So when you look at the top two issues that are plaguing voters, the economy and the border, Kamala is not polling well. So for them to sit here and say that she's winning in all these states and all the swing states, but then they throw out she's underwater in every major category going into the election. So how does that translate into winning when your plan of what the voters want, they want improved, you're underwater, but yet your polls say you're winning? There's no way. Trump's he's not underwater in either one of those categories. He's above 50% in both. And he's losing.
Definitely know he's not with the border, because he's been talking about the border even before he became president.
Yeah, his border plan is legit. His border plan's so good that the liberals are scared of it, because he said he's going to round them all up. Sarge, that was a good one. Today is today, and yesterday was today yesterday. Tomorrow will be today tomorrow. That is a fantastic Kamala Harris quote right there. She's got to be the most philosophical. She needs a book. Somebody needs to put all her philosophies in a book. Like, there's the moon and there's the stars. Now, when the moon and the stars all come together, it makes a moony star. Like, come on, man. Like, what are you, a kindergarten teacher? She talks to us like we're kindergartners. I hate that. Like America can't understand like a complicated concept, so she's got to dumb it down all the way to kindergarten level for us. And that's why I don't like her for the most part. Well, I mean, amongst the 25,000 other things I don't like her for. I actually like her in the pantsuit. That's the only thing I like her for. She looks nice in the pantsuit. But then you go back to her transformation from escort clothes to pantsuits. So she's done like a major transformation. And I think they went out there and they said, "Hey, can you look more like Michelle Big Mike Obama? That's what we need you to be like." And so she was like, "Okay, so I can't look like an escort no more." And they're like, "No, it's not good. It's not good for you. Not good." Yeah, I'm. You know what? I'm just lazy, Sarge. That's what it is. I need to do it. I'm just lazy. So, those are the main topics of. You're right. You're absolutely right. I'm just lazy, and by the time I get home every day at like 6:00, I'm just ready to do nothing. I'll go make some shorts real quick. So it takes like 5 seconds to make shorts. And then I'm like, I'm going to go eat and then go to bed. I'm old. Yeah. So going into international stuff real quick. So Russia made a really bold statement today that basically was like, our patience is run out. We did everything we can. But when Ukraine decided to come in and touch Russian soil and killed a lot of people in Kursk, that's we can't just sit by and let that happen no more. So we're going to they're gonna retaliate. They've been, they're working on something. I don't know if I would want to be President Zelensky anymore. Because if you're going to go into Russian soil, Russia's pretty much, kept the fighting in the battle regions. He hasn't really pushed too far inside, like towards Kiev. He stayed away from like that major city. He's mainly gone in, to the eastern part of the Ukraine, which is fine. Yeah, they definitely touched Russia in the no spot. Kursk is not hitting Kursk was not a very good decision on the Ukraine part, but it's the closest big city they have to them. And it's also the biggest military reserve city that they have. So that's going to be a problem for the Ukraine. I don't know if they understand what they just did, but Putin's basically said, I've had it. I'm done dealing with these clowns. It's go time. So with that said, with all of the things that are going on in the world, and some of you my military guys in here, probably even my dad too. He's been alive for a bajillion years, so he's probably been there and done that, seen all this stuff. But so what I'm worried about is the chain effect of, whether it's Iran striking Israel, whether it's, Russia massively striking Ukraine, or even if it's China going into Taiwan, or North Korea going into whoever. Kim Jong-un just wants to fight. He might go to Mongolia, who knows? But so I worry about those things because as we're seeing in Europe, guys, that you're seeing this massive immigration problem that everybody is rioting over all over Europe. Well, at the same time, while these distractions are going on, what are the terrorist cells doing? Same thing over here. We've had this mass influx of immigration come through our borders. Well, what are the terrorist cells doing? And this is why I think this, Sarge, because I think that this is a tactic that I believe has been used in the past. So just hear me out here. So I believe that as soon as one of those conflicts pops off, whenever, I think you're going to see every cell in Europe go off. And then I think you're going to see every cell in the United States go off. And then we're going to have massive craziness because I believe they're ready in Atlanta. I believe they're ready in New York, Chicago, Denver, Houston, Los Angeles. I think every major city, Phoenix, every major city has a cell in it. And I think that with the amount of immigration that's come through, I think that if this happens the way I think it's going to happen, that it's going to be catastrophic for major cities. And I agree. There's a lot of people out there that are just waiting for this to happen. There's people out there that are ready for this to happen, that want it to happen. So that's the difference between Europe and here, because Europe doesn't have guns. Here, we have lots of guns. So, and we have guys who like shooting guns, and we have guys that like being in combative situations. So, that's going to be a problem for the ones that are here. Now in Europe, they're going to get a little bit further because there's not really any guns in Europe. They took away all the guns in Europe, just like what they want to do. Just like what Biden tried to do, what Kamala's promising to do is to, round up all the weapons of war that the horseman used in war. Yeah, I know, right, Colin? Like Where's the border wall? It's laying on the ground. That's where it's at. It's laying on the ground, waiting on Trump to finish building it. And that's a stupid thing. And they completely ignored the border for all these years. Trump builds a wall, some of it, and then they say, "Wow, we don't need a wall." Well, then 3 years later, oh, it's hurting our polls. We better put a wall up. We better do something about that border. Then Joe Biden signs an executive order that's supposed to solve the immigration issue. And then Kamala Harris gets on TV a few weeks later and says, "Hey, I'm going to fix the border." Okay, Kamala, I thought Joe already fixed the border. Joe Biden told us he fixed the border, and it was the Republicans' fault. So I don't know. I like Joe Biden was already the hero of the border, remember? So it doesn't quite make any sense. So she's basically indirectly throwing Joe Biden under the bus, saying that the stroke of your pen didn't do anything. But then we have to go back and say, well, what did you do, Kamala? You've been the border. You've been looking at these root causes of the border for 3 years. It took them 3 years to get a report out on what you did down in Central America, and you didn't do nothing but funnel money to all your friends. And the Joe Biden certain type of trafficking ring down there. You have to watch what you say on these things now because they'll censor you. And then they won't let your videos circulate. So I wrote a chapter about that in my first book, Sarge. And I know I gave you a copy. So get out of here. Yeah. Cats are being dumb again. Always getting in trouble all the time. I'm gonna put the cats out there and let them fight. They'll fight some people. But I wrote about that in my book, Sarge. That I'm pretty sure I know how that'll go down. The problem with cities is when you diversify a city so much, like what they've done, is when a disaster happens, people will flock to like-minded people. They'll flock to their people. And what's going to happen is that right, Shauna? Do you think is that correct? A correct statement?
For sure.
I mean, because they want to be safe. They want to feel.
Yeah, you want to be in the environment where you feel like it's going to be the safest. Typically, that's where people you feel like have the same mindset.
Right. So in those situations, you might have a survival of the fittest situation. So in the cities, they're going to be fighting over resources if something drastic happens. So it's going to be hey, we need these resources that you guys have on that side of the city. Well, you can't have them. Oh, whoa, yeah, we're going to come take them. So you're going to have these little like inner wars in the cities between the types of people that are diversely going to be spread throughout the city. And generally what will happen is those groups will start to eliminate each other. So as I stated in my book, most of what rural America needs to do is to just ride that out. Just wait for them to kill each other. And that it'll happen. I mean, when people fight over resources that they don't have access to,
I mean, they're going to be the ones in the best position, honestly. Because most people that's living in the rural areas have already been preparing for these things.
Right.
And a lot of them already have their own farms, or they've already been like stocking for food and, things like that. So it really will just be the city like fighting it out. And then until a certain point, it's just going to be the people who can fight and the people who is going to have to be up under the people who can't fight.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not real sure that Sarge, I'm not real sure that they'll try to migrate out into the rural areas because most people from the city aren't comfortable out there. It's scary. They're not trained to deal with that kind of atmosphere. I mean, there will be some people that grew up in those areas that have moved to cities, but for the most part, people that have been from the city their whole life, they're not going to want to go out into the unknown. It would be like it would be like going and jumping into the ocean and not knowing what's below you.
Definitely.
So, I don't think they're going to go out there and try to peddle,
They wouldn't know where to go.
Yeah, they're not going to know. For one. Or two, I know if you look at my dad's property, and I'm not going to divulge too much, but you can see all the way around, and we will see you coming. So do you really want to get sniped out from that far away over trying to sell a TV?
And the thing is, these people have been practice shooting, so they're pretty accurate with their shots. Yeah, the city is going to thin out pretty quickly. The city is going to thin out pretty quickly because like I know for a fact in Atlanta, like besides the like really hillbilly redneck areas and like
the hood will take over.
And I'm like in the hood, like those will be the only two areas in the city that they'll get territorial. They'll be okay. But everybody else in between that is not going to make it.
Well, that's the thing. You know what what the groups are that don't like each other. So they're just going to migrate all over the city and loot and steal and take everything they want. And eventually they're going to butt heads. And that's when the real bad stuff's going to happen. So you just wait in your rural America, you just wait on it to play itself out. And then you go and clean it up. And then, all that'll be left is rural America. You'd probably be amazed how fast a city will kill itself if you just take away all the rules.
Half of Atlanta living in the city is going to be upset that they can't do brunch on Sundays. So that'll kill them. The first wave of people will be those.
They're going to be like, where's my 10 a.m. mimosa?
I need my hookah. So yeah, they'll be going quick. It'll be interesting.
My dad said he's going to be sitting in a tree stand waiting on something to shoot.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm good. I know where I need to be when all of these things happen. So
yeah, Sarge, you should send it to me. If you find it, send it to me. I'm gonna play it.
Oh God.
But so I do worry about the damage that this whole international situation is gonna unfold. Eventually, somebody's gonna start it. And right now, I think everybody's going to, do we really want to start it right now? Yep. Colin's probably right. And that's where everybody will get real dangerous, is because when you get hungry, you'll do whatever it takes. You'll even eat your own. I mean, we pretty much do anyway. I'm pretty sure that we eat human food. Like we eat human meat in fast food restaurants. I'm just
in all honesty, as much harvesting of people that they're doing, I wouldn't put it past them.
Right. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure I've been a cannibal for about 20 years now.
Don't want to think about it.
Right. And I'm gonna probably we may have already ate Joe Biden's uncle, the one that got eaten by the cannibals. They probably chopped him up and sent him over to McDonald's for a hamburger. Yep. Colin's right. People will eat each other. I watched that movie where the soccer players crashed in the mountains in South America somewhere. I think it was in Chile or Bolivia or something. But they end up eating each other. Isn't that crazy? If you had to, Shauna, could you eat another human being?
As long as I can cook it, I'm pretty sure I could get past it.
You could?
I think I could. Like, I mean, I've eaten MREs for God's sake, and they have like no taste at all. So I think you
That's
could.
different. There's no human meat in the
It
MRE.
doesn't matter. I mean, when you're hungry, it doesn't matter. Like, literally, it doesn't matter. I think if I could just cook it, I'll be okay. But I think what's going to mess me up is the smell. But then again, I don't know. Like, you know, when you burn human flesh, it just smells like barbecue. So you might be okay. I don't know.
Well, if we have a cannibal outbreak in Atlanta, I'm gonna know who did it. It'll be you, Hannibella Lecter.
Ew. God. I can never get over the seeing him cutting the man's brain out and feeding it to him. So gross.
What is Soylent Green? Colin?
I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know. No. Is it like a powder? That's gross. Okay.
I think my dad just threatened to shoot my cats.
Oh my God. Oh, yeah, they'll be the first. Listen, I love Yeti like the next, but definitely she's going on the steak. She's a fat ass dog. Like, she's fat as fuck.
I will eat
Like,
you
why
before
would
I
not?
eat Yeti.
You will what?
I will eat you before I eat my dog.
She has more meat on her than I do. Why would you eat me first?
Because I'll keep her around as long as I can.
Wait,
I'll eat her last.
She can feed a family of 7 easily. Just saying. Just saying. She like Leo. I love. We would have to keep Leo though, because you know we're hoping we would have to keep Leo. We would have to keep Leo. We would have to. He's a good guard dog. Like Yeti's too soft. Like, she's just gonna sit there and just roll over and let people pet her. We don't need that. We're at war here, so we need something that's going to be vicious. That's going to protect us.
All right, that's a fair statement.
There you go.
I'm gonna have to rename this episode the Cannibal episode. Cannibalism, the cannibalism episode.
Oh my God, we're coming up with good theories here. You got to be prepared for any and every situation.
Yeah.
Any military person will tell you that.
Yeah, you do. You have to be prepared for everything. I heard that.
No, you did.
Uh-huh. But for the most part, getting back on topic, so the elections are starting to heat up. Things are starting to happen. I think everybody's still feeling things out. Like, Kamala Harris's vice president pick has got all kinds of controversy around him. I wouldn't be surprised if he dropped out, honestly. He's just, they're digging all kinds of stuff up on him. Huh. Okay, Colin. There we go. There's Soylent Green. It's an old movie. I did not know that. I'm going to have to look that up and watch it. Oh, and don't forget, if we say anything bad, Shauna, keep this in mind. If we say anything bad about England, that they will lock us up, which I already did. So I probably have an international warrant out right now.
England. There you go. I
See,
guess I'm on the list too.
Look what you did.
Never go to England, I guess. Yeah, for sure. I mean, it is what
they threatened to lock up Trump and Elon Musk.
America doesn't like England, what they did to Diana, so we don't care.
Yeah. She was just a nice lady.
Sure, we'll go with that. I don't know. What do you think it'd be like if Trump wins? How do you think people will react to it? How do you think America will react to it?
So I don't know if I want to speak my opinion on that yet. I think it's said without being said. That's what I think.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's going to be a happy ending.
I don't either.
I don't think it will be either way. I think we've lost so much faith in anything that has to do with the government that we're not going to trust anything that comes out of there because we've been lied to for so long about everything.
Mm-hmm.
So no, I don't trust it. Now, here in Georgia, they're not using the Dominion voting machines now. They kicked them out. So that's a good thing because the dude, one of the guys who owns one of the subset companies, just got arrested for fraud in those because he was taking bribes during an election in another country. So maybe Donald Trump might have been on to something. I don't think we should trust those. I don't know if Ohio has them or not, but I hope not. But they have it pretty well set up to where you have to like match the ballots fed. It has a counter. The ballots fed has to match the ballots cast. So you can't just start feeding a bunch of ballots in there that are already pre-filled out. It won't accept them. At least here in Georgia, they won't. So, I mean, they're getting better, and I do think that the conservatives are very well prepared for this after going through the training. I think if something happens, they're going to catch it right away, and it's going to get exposed right away. Now, here in Georgia, they also passed the law where once they start counting, there's no stopping counting, like how it was in 2020, where all of a sudden everybody went to bed and all the swing states happened to quit counting at the same time. And then we all woke up in the morning and Trump lost somehow in the middle of the night when people stopped counting. There won't be that anymore. So at least in Georgia, they've closed that loophole. Once the count starts, the count finishes. They said they don't care if it takes 14 days. You're going to stand there and count them. So there's that, which I think that's a good law to have. For one, it'll make people not want to be there, so they'll hurry up and count so they can be done. For two, it eliminates the window of opportunity for someone to try something snaky. So I do like that. But now that we know that, I should get like some extra points from the GOP since I flipped Shauna over to the Trump team. I might even get you a MAGA hat. You want a MAGA hat, Shauna? Yeah. Well, you got your mic muted, so I couldn't hear you.
I'd burn that shit.
No, you keep your mic muted. We don't want to hear that. Whatever. You'll wear it proudly. And I'll make you wear it to work every day. Yep. I'm going to make it a part of company policy.
Half of the warehouse will quit.
What are you talking about? Everybody's a Trump supporter in the warehouse.
Okay.
I told him 4 years ago when I got down there, I said, if you don't support Donald Trump, you're fired. And everybody was like, yeah, we like Trump. It's like, that's what I thought. Which I'm pretty sure is illegal. I'm not allowed to do that, but whatever. Do whatever I want. America. You know, Colin, you know what? You are absolutely right on that one. No matter who wins, Saturday Night Live is going to have a great 4 years. Even though I don't watch that trash because they're a bunch of fart-smelling soy boy libtards. There, I said
it's funny.
Yeah, but it's not funny like it used to be. It's not like back in the day. Like when they did Jeopardy, like the Jeopardy skits were the best. Yeah, I'm the same way, Colin. When I went to bed that night, Trump won. I thought, yes, my guy. I'm gonna wake up tomorrow and it's gonna be a great day. The whole country will be on fire because the liberals will be mad. And then I woke up and fucking Joe Biden won. Like, I was like, how the hell does that even happen?
I'm not gonna lie, I was surprised he won too. I honestly didn't think he was.
It was like magically each state got 500,000 exactly votes. Like exactly every swing state got exactly 500,000 votes, and they flew them in there. Like, how does this happen? Like, Trump was winning decidedly in those states when we all went to bed, and then we woke up and Biden wins by a tiny bit. I was like, get out of here, man. There's no way. Nobody voted for that dude. And then when you look at the total votes, that there's more votes that got cast than registered voters. Explain that. It's not even mathematically possible.
Sounds like an episode of Scandal to me.
Yeah, it is. Everything in Washington is part of Scandal. Yep, that's right, Colin. If you don't support Donald Trump, you're un-American.
America, what is that?
Huh? Well, you know what? I'm not even going to disagree with you on that comment because I think it's valid right now, and I think we do need to redefine it. It's like when you watch did you watch the any of the Olympics, Shauna?
Yeah.
So when the men's basketball team won the gold and they're all holding their flags, Kevin Durant was holding the American flag and he was saying this flag.
That's fair.
I mean, he has the right to say that, but don't put on the USA jersey and say that. Like, if you don't like America, don't play in the Olympics with your old.
Well, I mean, you have to think about it. You have to think about it from a point of view like they're just part of the puppets for America. If you think about it, they support the entertainment.
You also have to think about it as you're representing the United States of America. If you want to go hate on America, go play for fucking Cuba. They hate America. They'll love you playing there. I would rather you go play for another country than put on the uniform of the country that I love. Just like LeBron. You don't like America? Then get the hell up out of here. Go to China. Since you love the Chinese so much. Bum. Yeah. So that's my opinion on that. The good thing is there wasn't a lot of American bashing in the Olympics, which I
think because everybody was too busy looking at my guy's ball sack at the opening ceremony. So
what was your guy doing at the opening ceremony naked?
That was part of Paris. That wasn't America.
Yeah, that was probably the most controversial Olympics ever. And Olympics should not be controversial. It's a place where athletes get to compete and show what their hard work brings on the national stage.
All the things. Oh God, it's been some of the most dumbest stuff. People are complaining about the Olympics. I mean, we're not going to talk about them changing decisions 5 days after the competition's over with. No, they're busy worried about people wearing their grills and nails.
Yeah. You know who's performing at the Los Angeles Olympics in 4 years? Well, right after they do the Star Spangled Banner, they're gonna do Pound Town by Sexy Red.
That's what you want. That's not what's happened. Icebreaker was amazing. Oh good. Yeah. I'm so good.
That was horrible. Did you hear the story about that Australian breakdancer?
Yeah, they've been talking about it on Twitter all day, so I'm kind of over it.
She basically scammed or like bullied every breakdancer out of being on the Olympic team because she wanted to do it herself. She made herself the president of the breakdancing association or whatever. And she sucked.
It was garbage. It was terrible. You seen the video of her today out dancing?
No. I don't know if I want to.
But I don't know, man. America, what is it? It definitely needs to be redefined. We'll maybe talk about that and throw some ideas the next show on Sunday.
Yeah. Kevin Durant should go play for Team Burma, like Colin said. If you don't like America, you can get out. I think everybody, it should be like a rule that everybody has to watch Team America before they wake up every morning. Like you wake up, Team America is playing on your TV every morning.
Also, these are coming from the opinions of people who have $1 million contracts. So you hate America, but you're living pretty comfortable in America right now.
Right. So. Well, you certainly are taking advantage of the American dream.
Yeah, for sure. So,
yeah,
I mean, not saying that he doesn't have a right to feel the way that he does, but also at the same time, you're like the 1% in America right now who's
but they sell their soul to China all the time. So you can't sell your soul to the United States for some money? Like, come on, don't be so contradictory. LeBron, bum. I said LeBron's a bum like 4 times in this episode already.
Okay. When he sues you for defamation of character, I want to hear nothing.
Well, I'm allowed to say he's a bum. I think he's a bum.
I don't know. I don't pay attention to LeBron. I'm good on it.
Yeah. And Space Jam 2 sucked.
It did.
See?
Yeah.
That's why he's not the GOAT. Because Michael Jordan.
Know. I just feel like they could have definitely there's definitely better, I won't say better basketball players, but there's other players who like their personalities could have fit better with the movie. But anyways,
like Steph Curry.
No, he's kind of corny too. I wouldn't say him.
Yeah, but he's at least a decent human being.
In all honesty, I would have preferred Shaq being it again.
I love Shaq.
Like it could have just been like fast and forward, you know what I'm saying? With him being old now, anything. Like, I don't know.
I'm a deputy sheriff, Shaquille O'Neal, Sheriff Shaq.
We all love Shaq. Shaq for president.
Yep. Trump Shaq. Trump Shaq. Yeah. Shaquille O'Neal.
Anyways, good people.
Yeah. So what you want to do, Sean? You want to have to show up?
Sure. Before we start rambling and get on people's nerves.
I know. That's why I had to do that before you start talking about eating humans again.
Yeah. No.
Don't say it. That's our show for the day. So everybody be safe out there. Know where your kids are at. Know what your teachers are teaching your children.
Definitely.
Watch out for those ones. And vote for Donald Trump 2024.
Everybody be safe.
Say Trump 2024, Shauna.
2024. Bye, guys.
Trump. Peace. I heard that. Trump 2024.
Ain't nobody saying no damn Trump.
Too late.
It's still recording, guys.
You just said it. It's
still recording us, so might as well. You didn't press it. It's still recording us.
Yeah, I did. It said an error occurred by stopping the stream. Like, how does an error occur? I'm just trying to push stop.
They don't want us to stop. They must want us to keep talking. All right.
That's because the CIA is trying to pinpoint my